Alright, I think we're back now. That was real weird.
I don't know why it's like that.
Anyway. Back to this anxiety.
ね、一緒に行きましょう。あなたが私たちと共に来てくれれば、この人たちも戦いに専念できるわ。
Literally everything you're saying makes total sense, Sen, but of course we are not going to go with you. Because that would make too much sense.
Her words hit like blows, but she spoke the truth. War would soon break out, and perhaps remaining with the Shinsengumi would be dangerous for me, and for them. I would be useless in war. I was no soldier. Even so, I wanted to stay. I looked over at Hijikata, hoping he might give me an answer. He only furrowed his brow and looked the other way, saying nothing. What was I to do?
Okay, I don't know why it skipped by that so fast, but...
I was sure Sen was right, and I should leave, but... the words just couldn't come. In truth, I didn't want to leave. I hoped that maybe, someday, all of the madness and war would end, and then I could be a human being, not a demon.
どうして黙ってるの？さっきも言った通り、あなたはここを出た方が。
Her voice was kind, and I knew she had only my best interests at heart. But I still couldn't bring myself to respond.
Because the plot dictated it, apparently.
Hijikata, of course, saw straight through me.
出て行きたくねえんだろ。
Nope, your hair's too pretty. We don't want to leave it behind.
Huh?
だったら余計なことを考える必要はねえ。ここにいりゃいい。
But... is that really okay? If Kazuma came after me again...
何度も同じことを言わせるな。この二人と一緒に行ったところで、風間に居場所を嗅ぎつけられねえ保証はねえんだ。奴は俺たち新選組にとっても敵だ。同じ敵を相手にするんなら、一箇所に固まってた方が効率がいいじゃねえか。
He was as gruff as ever, but it wasn't hard to understand what he was trying to say. So, I can stay?
愚問だ。迷惑だと思ってたら、とっくに放り出してる。
Relief flooded out across my body. Thank you so much! With war set to break out at any time, the Shinsengumi was changing. I didn't know how useful I could be to them once battle was begun. But even so, Hijikata told me it was okay to stay.
Yay!
また振られちゃったか。
Do they really need to tease the Sen route we will never have? Do they really? Yes, sorry, Sen, you're really cute, but we did in fact turn you down again, because we're chasing a guy who definitely doesn't have time for our bullshit.
I'm sorry. It was very nice of you to offer, though.
いいのよ。あなたがここにいたいっていうのなら無理強いはできないもの。それより教えてほしいことがあるの。前にあなたが言ってた気になる人って土方さんのことなの？
What? I wasn't quite sure how to answer that question. Well, to be honest, I don't really know Hijikata that well, but I stumbled over my words, not quite sure how to explain to her how I felt. Perhaps because I wasn't sure myself. The men call him the demon because he's so strict and harsh with the soldiers. A lot of people think that he doesn't care about anyone, and that he's cold, but I think he has a kind heart in there. He has a lot of responsibilities, and the whole Shinsengumi rides on his back. I don't think he has any choice but to act like that. I don't know what I can do for him, but I want to stay here and do whatever I can.
それって完璧に捕まっちゃってるじゃない。
What? I gave her a confused look, but Sen smiled and continued.
私のご先祖様にあたる鈴鹿御前も坂の上の田村麻呂って人間の男に恋をして今日までついてきたんだって。その子孫が私だから、あなたの気持ちは私にもわかるつもりよ。どんな事情も立場も恋の前には無力だもんね。
What? Wait, what? Love? I didn't... I never meant... She only rested her hand on my shoulder and continued.
人と鬼っていう立場の違いはあるけど、うまくいかないって決まったわけじゃないもんね。頑張ってね。応援してるから。
Well then. Sen's like, yeah, you got it bad.
姫様、そろそろ参りませんと。
あ、そうね。それじゃあ元気でね。風間は本当に手強い鬼だから気をつけて。もし何かあればいつでも知らせてちょうだい。私と連絡を取りたいときは速やに手紙を届けてくれればいいわ。
All right. Thank you. Goodbye. In mere moments, they were gone. Circumstance and rank mean little before the power of love. But was this thing I felt, this desire to be close to Hijikata, was that really love? I just wanted to be around him and help him. Besides, the most important thing to Hijikata was the Shinsengumi. He'd built it up from nothing and put everything he was into it. With war against Satsuma and Choshu brewing, he hadn't the time to think of anything else. That being the case, as someone under the care of the Shinsengumi, I needed to think of how I could best put my own skills to use.
Oh, this is all new. Rawr.
As evening came, I was helping to prepare dinner at the Fushimi Magistrate. This seemed like the best course of action I had at the time to prepare meals. I couldn't even prepare many of the side dishes, so all I could do was cook rice for them. But even then, I wanted to make eating easy for warriors who were constantly on the move. So I made rice balls and I handed them out.
Clearly, rice balls is literally all she knows how to make without significant effort, I guess. Whatever.
Has anyone not gotten meals yet?
こっちにもください。もう一つ食べてもいいですか？
Yes, of course. Have as many as you like.
じゃあ俺も。
The warriors were ravenous, reaching out for the rice balls with their wet appetites. I had set some aside for the captains already, so I suppose it was all right. Once I'd passed them out, the rice balls were almost all gone in an instant. Eventually, it was down to the last rice ball in the basket. The warriors reaching out for it noticed it was the last and he stopped himself. There are more left, so please take it.
ありがとうございます。
The young warrior had looked so excited as he grabbed it. I was going to use whatever was left over for my dinner, but there were no rice balls left at the end. Still, I was a lot happier knowing the warriors could eat instead of worrying about myself. I guess I'll hold out until the next meal.
Cheese it. Why? You dumb child.
My stomach just growled. Thank goodness no one was around to hear it. Maybe it's best if I drink some water. As I was heading to the kitchen, I suddenly heard a voice come from behind me.
今のはお前の腹の音か。
Whoops. Hijikata? Where did he come from? And he even heard my stomach growl? Well, that was...
大使どもが夕飯を全部食っちまったらしいが、お前は食ったのか？
I'll eat later. I'm fine.
食ったのかって聞いてるんだ。
Well, no. Not yet. My voice was timid as I answered, and Hijikata sighed before taking something out of his pocket.
たく、しょうがねえな。
What he had taken out of his pocket was one of the rice balls, wrapped in a bamboo leaf that I'd left out for the captains earlier. This should be yours, Hijikata.
いいから食え。
No. Hijikata, you should eat it instead. I refrained from grabbing it, but Hijikata gritted his teeth from being annoyed, and we both stared at the rice ball being offered.
もしかして遠慮してんのか？半分ずつだ。これならいいだろう。
I mean, compromise is good, I guess.
He gruffly split the rice ball in half, and then he handed it to me. The force of his hand as he reached toward me. It was a statement that he wasn't going to take no for an answer. I grabbed the rice ball from his hand. Thank you. Then I will take your offer and take your half. As soon as I grabbed the rice ball, Hijikata hastily bit into his half and scarfed it down. I saw him and I too rushed to bite my rice ball. As soon as I'd swallowed my first bite, I nearly melted from the relief of eating. This is delicious. The despite Hijikata standing over me, the satisfaction of food entering my stomach prevailed. My eagerness made me a little self-conscious. Hijikata, however, seemed unfazed by it, and he spoke as he continued eating his rice ball.
他人にばっか気を使ってねえで、飯ぐらい自分の分はちゃんと食え。わかったか?
Sorry. I'll be sure to do that next time.
別に怒ってるわけじゃねえ。
Then he stopped chewing and muttered with chunks of rice in his mouth.
ありがとうよ。
Don't worry. I'd rather it be eaten by the other men. I could always eat later. I'll be fine.
そうじゃねえ。今日、お前がここに残ると決めてくれたことにだ。
Oh. Yes. I decided today to stay with the Shinsengumi. Despite Sen offering me a safe place to hide out, I had turned her down. I made the decision to stay beside this man.
Inexplicably.
And Hijikata was happy about it too.
何ほうけてやがる。さっさと食え。
Okay. I was rushing to eat the rest of my rice ball, but suddenly I didn't feel so hungry anymore. As if another feeling made all others vanish. However, it seemed like Hijikata was just standing there, watching me finish the rest of my rice ball.
あれっぽっちで腹は膨れたか。
He's way too much dad for this to work romantically. Really.
Yes, I'm fine now.
豚書内のことはお前に任せたからな。あとは頼んだぞ。
Okay. I'll do my best. I was so happy that Hijikata had entrusted me to watch the compounds, so I couldn't help but straighten up as he spoke to me. And I think Hijikata flashed a quick grin when he saw that. He turned around and disappeared to the back of the building. I watched his back the whole time. Just before the beginning of the new year, Okita's condition worsened. It was determined that he had contracted pulmonary tuberculosis. His disease wasn't uncommon, but it was incurable. I'd suspected that he might be seriously ill when he began to lose his strength, but I'd never guessed that tuberculosis was the cause. The entire Shinsengumi was shocked and saddened by the news. It was decided that he was to head to Osaka, where Dr. Matsumoto was residing with Kondo, who was also in dire need of treatment. The new year came, and now it was 1868. Kyoto was still on high alert. The Shinsengumi remained on standby at the Fushimi Magistrate's office through the year-end celebrations.
Right? I'm so glad you stayed. Now, watch the compound. I have a patrol to do. See ya. And also don't starve yourself, kid.
My hope that tempers would calm and the threat of war would fade lasted until 3 days after the new year. A dispute arose between the Satsuma domain and a group of shogunate troops attempting to enter Kyoto. Violence broke out, and suddenly, War was upon us. The shogunate army in Kyoto numbered roughly 15,000 men, while the Satsuma Choshu alliance commanded only 5,000. Victory for the shogun should have been a foregone conclusion. The Satsuma and Choshu, however, had bet their very livelihoods on this war, and determination and morale were high. Perhaps more importantly, the Satsuma had faced the British in battle, and the Choshu had faced the British, French, and Dutch. Both domains had learned modern Western tactics. Armed with only swords against the Satsuma and Choshu's rifles, the Shinsengumi were at a tremendous disadvantage.
This is so boring.
During the war, the Fushimi magistrate's office was set on fire, and the Shinsengumi had no choice but to retreat from Kyoto.
We're almost done. With Kyoto wins. Okay. Yeah, this is all new content. Basically, Chapter 5 is always going to be unique to the boy in question.
大丈夫かね。少し休んだ方がいいかい？
No, I'm fine. We can't afford to stop. I'll be alright. I wiped the sweat from my brow, took a deep breath, and forced my throbbing feet to move. We were on our way to Yodo Castle, under orders from Hijikata. The Shinsengumi was doing poorly, so we'd been dispatched to bring reinforcements. Do you really think the people at Yodo Castle will help us out?
何としてでも助けてもらわねばな。トシさんのためにも絶対に。あの人に負けは似合わない。もうあの人のあんな顔は見たくないからな。
I remembered the battle at Fushimi all too clearly. On the evening of the third day of the new year, the war began. Cannons pounded the Fushimi magistrate's office, and the ground shook with each impact.
土方さん、もう無理だ。奴ら坂の上にバカでかい大砲を仕掛けてやがる。坂を登ろうとした橋から撃ち殺されちまう。ありゃ切り合いに持ち込むなんて無理だぜ。
しかも奴らの持っている銃、射程が恐ろしく長い。あれほど離れているというのに2発に1発が命中している。
新八のやつはどうしたんだ？見当たらねえが。
新八なら2番隊15名とともに敵陣へ切り込みに行って。
敵陣に切り込みって正気か？どう考えたって生きて帰ってこられるはずがねえだろう。
I could see muscles working in Hijikata's jaw, but he said nothing. His face was pale, although whether from fear or tension I couldn't tell. Outside, the roar of the cannons continued unabated. Just when it seemed certain that Nagakura must have perished.
よう、ただいま。今戻ったぜ。
Oh, what up, Nagakura?
新八
Cries of surprise filled the room.
生きていたのか。まさか。
おっと、幽霊じゃないぜ。よく見てくれよ。足もちゃんとついてるから。
He grinned as he wiped a thick smear of blood and dirt from his face.
ただ、敵本陣に飛び込むのはどうやっても無理だった。先に出て行った合図の部隊も押し返されてるみてえだ。
副長、この先に進むのはかなり困難かと。ご決
Oops, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, Shimada.
His brow furrowed and he scowled furiously.
おい、なんだこりゃ。どこかから煙が流れてきてやがるぞ。
大砲の火が奉行所に燃え移ったか。さっさと逃げねえとやばいぜ。土方さん、撤退だ。
Even Nagakura's pleas seemed to fall on deaf ears.
トシさん、
Until this moment, the Shinsengumi had never known defeat in battle, but they were helpless against the firearms of the Satsuma and Choshu. The Shinsengumi was Hijikata's life. Defeat was hard to accept. After what seemed like an eternity, he let out a long, ragged sigh.
刀や槍の時代じゃねえってことだな。
His knuckles turned white.
I find it really curious that they decided to put all of this in a flashback.
There were several more minutes of tense, breathless silence before he finally looked up, eyes burning with fury.
ここは撤退だ。だがまだ負けたわけじゃねえ。この借りは必ず返してやるからな。
Fury wasn't the only thing in those eyes. Behind them, I could see a bitter, desperate agony.
あの人がどんな思いで撤退の言葉を口にしたか、付き合いの長い私にはよく分かってるつもりだ。負け戦なんてのは一度経験すればもう十分だよ。私は刀としてはまるっきり勇さんたちの役に立たないと思ってる。
What? No, don't say... He interrupted me with a kind smile and continued.
ただ、こんな私でも新選組を勝たせるためにできることはきっと何かあるはずだ。だから頑張ろうな。
Okay. The Shinsengumi and Kondo and Hijikata needed my help. I had to do whatever I could. It took us several hours to reach Yodo Castle. Hijikata's hope was to use the castle as a new staging area, where he could garrison our troops and launch ambushes from. Unfortunately. That's weird. Why are the gates closed? Do you think they're already preparing for battle? There were no guards outside the castle anywhere we could see. It was uncomfortably quiet. He stood for a moment, absently rubbing his chin in thought, before finally making a decision.
我々は幕命を受けて参った。お上に弓引く逆賊を迎え撃つため力を貸してもらいたい。
This will be fine, I'm sure.
His voice echoed out through the stillness, but no one responded. I had almost begun to think the castle was simply abandoned when... Oh, look! There's someone in that window! Huh? They've got something shiny.
危ない。
Whoops.
Huh? Inoue grabbed me by the wrist and pulled me. Gunshots.
What? What? There's like words missing from that sentence. Anyway, they just got shot at.
My eyes darted around, but there were no rebels nearby. That meant that the bullets were meant for us. What's going on? I thought the Yodo were friendly.
薩長の勢いに気をされたか。はたまた民を戦乱に巻き込みたくないとの辛抱遠慮か。
This is fine.
とりあえず本体へ戻ろう。これ以上ここにいるのは危険だ。
But Hijikata told us to get reinforcements from Yodo. Inoue only shook his head.
あんたももう分かってるだろう。彼らは我々の味方ではない。ここに長居すればするだけ あんたの身を危険にさらすことになる。
But if we leave, then what's going to happen to Hijikata? What's going to happen to the Shinsengumi? Let's just try and talk to them. If we explain what's going on, I'm sure they'll understand. I'd never seen Inoue glare at me before.
いい加減にしなさい。トシさんのために増援を呼びたいのは私だって同じだ。だが私は淀藩に援軍を頼みに行くのと同時にあんたを守る役目も仰せつかってるんだよ。もしあんたの身に何かあれば命令に背くことになる。さあ。
There was nothing I could say. Inoue had fought alongside Hijikata since their first days in Edo, before the Shinsengumi. He had undoubtedly felt even more devastated by Yodo's betrayal than I had, but he had still chosen to retreat so that he might protect me. Never before had I felt so ashamed and so helpless. There was nothing I could do.
She's useless, she failed, let's move on. This version of Chizuru also irritates me.
気にせんでいいよ。何、トシさんのことだ。きっとこの状況をひっくり返すだけの奇策を考えてくれるさ。
He laid a hand on my shoulder and gave it a gentle, reassuring squeeze. I focused on the warmth of his hand and felt myself begin to calm down.
Blah blah. Blah blah.
父様か。そうだな。私も本来はあんたくらいの娘がいてもおかしくない年なんだよな。
That being said, Gen-san is cool. He's way better than our actual dad.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong?
いやいや、そんなことないさ。こんな可愛い娘なら大歓迎だ。さあ、戻ろうか。私たちがなかなか戻ってこなくて、大使たちも心配しているだろう。
Okay. What? We were nearly to the location where we'd left the rest of the soldiers, but something felt wrong. Wait. Weren't they supposed to be here? There wasn't a single soul around. Did we get lost?
いや、そんなはずはない。確かここをまっすぐ行ったところに。
Then, as we rounded the corner, I noticed something lying on the ground. Inoue! There's someone over there!
まさか、薩長の軍勢はまだここまで来ていないはずだが。
He's wearing Shinsengumi blues. Could he?
足音を立てるんじゃない。ゆっくり近づこう。
I nodded. Could the Satsuma Choshu Alliance already have troops here? If they did, they were hiding them very well. Neither Inoue nor I could sense anyone nearby. No rebels. But no Shinsengumi either. Ah! Then we came around another bend in the road and I gasped. Warriors in the blue jackets of the Shinsengumi were piled up along the road, dead where they'd fallen. And standing in the middle of this carnage.
見覚えのある羽織を着た連中がうろついているからまさかとは思った。
Well, look who went and decided to put on his villain suit today.
やはり貴様らも来ていたか。
Kazuma's smile was a cruel, mocking thing. You! Why? I was so furious I could barely speak.
淀藩の動向を見に出向いたまで。面倒ごとにもたまには手を出してみるものだな。まさかこんなところで会えるとは思わなかったぞ。
I felt his eyes on me, like those of a snake staring down its prey, before they shifted to take the ground around him.
お前が戻ってくるまでの退屈しのぎにこの連中と遊んではみたが、残念ながら暇すら潰せなかったな。
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Inoue shake with rage. Most of the men who lay dead on the ground in front of us were members of his 6th Division. And now, because I had chosen to stay with the Shinsengumi, Kazuma had returned and Inoue's men were dead. Kazuma had taken their lives. And for what?
前回は思わぬ邪魔が入ったが、今度こそ一緒に来てもらうぞ。
Kazuma had demonic powers that put him in a class above any mortal man. 2 skilled swordsmen working in concert might be able to hold him back, but not defeat him. Inoue and I would not be able to defeat him, nor, as I suspected, would he allow us to escape. If I surrendered to him, however, then he might let Inoue leave. I stepped forward and steeled myself.
下がっていなさい。
Inoue moved forward to put himself between me and Kazuma. Inoue? I had a bad feeling about this. What are you doing?
早く逃げなさい。そして、トシさんにこう伝えてくれ。力不足で申し訳ない。最後まで共に荒れなかったことを許してほしい。
Oh no, Gen-san!
こんな私を今日まで一緒に連れてきてくれて、最後の夢を見せてくれて、感謝してもしきれないとね。
No! I can't do that! I won't just leave you here to die. This man is after me. If I go with him, then you can live. Please. Inoue's smile was bitter.
やれやれ。女を盾にして逃げろっていうのかい。そりゃ武士の風上にも置けんだろう。それにな、子供を守って死ぬってのは親の本望でもある。
Yeah, we just had the like, you could be my dad and you could be my daughter talk, and now he's gonna die, so it's fine.
親ってのは子供より先に死ぬもんだからな。
But Inoue had finished talking, though. He turned his back to me and drew his sword. Suddenly, I remembered the conversation we'd had on the way back from Kyoto Castle. He told me that he was old enough to have a daughter my age. No, I cried to myself. That doesn't mean he has to do this. How could he throw his life away? Please, Inoue, run! I screamed and pleaded, but his back didn't move.
本性の別れは済んだか。では、先ほどの言葉に込められた本気がどれほどのものか試してみるとするか。
Kazuma let his hand fall from the hilt of his undrawn sword. Inoue launched himself at Kazuma and swung in a wide arc toward the demon's neck. Kazuma's sword slithered out of its scabbard, too fast for the eye to follow. His hand simply blurred and the tip of his blade emerged from Inoue's back.
Well, shit.
Blood bubbled out between his lips.
I assume she's gonna scream. I can't do that because it's very late at night here and there are other people in this house. Imagine it.
He felt at his knees, the deep red stain rapidly devouring the light blue of his jacket. Kazuma's eyes flickered like sparks, and he bent down to whisper to Inoue.
どうした人間。先ほど俺に殺された連中、お前の部下。
Man. He's kind of a dick. But we already knew that.
敵を討ちたくはない。武士というのは仲間の仇討ちを美徳とすると耳にしたぞ。
Inoue glared back at him with white-hot rage. He reached into the pocket of his kimono and was taking something out. It was... No.
清水か。どこまでも見苦しいやつめ。見下げ果てたぞ。貴様ごときもはや生かしておくだけの価値もない。そのまま苦しんで死ね。
Inoue lifted the tip of the lid, attempting to drink the water of life, but then... Kazuma simply laughed and stepped easily around Inoue's swinging sword. I didn't even see him strike. There was only the momentary flicker of sunlight on a blade, and blood erupted from a gash across Inoue's chest. The bottle dropped to the ground and broke.
すまんな。どうも力が入りすぎてしまったようだ。
He ground his teeth, trying desperately to overcome the pain, and turned his strained gaze to me.
何をしている。早く逃げんか。
His face looked intense like a demon as he shouted at me. I scrambled to my feet and turned to leave.
やれやれ。どしがたい愚か者というのもいるものだ。
That's rude.
なぜこれだけの力の差を目の当たりにしてなお戦いをやめようとせぬのか。理解に苦しむ。
Hearing Kazuma's cold laugh behind me, I felt something inside me snap. Stop! Don't! As I cried out, I heard the awful sound of steel slicing through flesh. Time slowed to a crawl, and I could do nothing but watch as Inoue fell, without a cry, to the ground.
I mean, on a completely unrelated note, they've been really good about using the word ground instead of floor right now. So that's cool, I guess. More screaming.
Even as part of my mind screamed at me to run, I scrambled toward him, grabbing for his hand. It was still warm. A warmth like my father. But Inoue's eyes no longer saw. His ears no longer heard. He had joined his men among the corpses on the road.
邪魔者はいなくなった。もうお前を助ける者は。さあ、おとなしく俺と共に来るのだ。我が妻となる女を。
How about no?
He flicked his sword clean and sheathed it. Then he stepped forward and reached for my hand.
Well, walk through.
Inoue had told me to run. Hijikata needed to hear his last words, and I am in no position to fight a demon. I knew all this, and I could hear a part of my mind screaming at me to run, but the roaring flames of rage drowned it out. How could I have let him die to protect me? Inoue was so kind. Just looking at his lifeless body sprawled in the dirt made my heart feel as though it would shatter into 1,000 pieces. But more than anything, I hated Kazuma for killing my friend as if he were nothing more than an irritating insect. I grabbed desperately for my kodachi and pulled it from its scabbard, bringing it up into an attack position.
And of course, we're totally ineffectual, so he's just kind of annoyed, really.
Shut up! Hot tears rolled down my cheeks.
Why are you asking the dumbest question?
この虫けらのような男を殺されたのがそんなに悔しいか。たかが人間が鬼に歯向かったのだ。当然の末路だろう。
Kazuma, sweetie, you are a little bit out of touch. We really need to talk about your connection to reality. Why does a voice saying such awful things have to sound so good? His name is Kenjiro Tsuda, unfortunately. It's really unfair.
Shut up! Shut up! Never in my life had I spoken to someone like that. But never in my life had I so wanted to kill someone. If only I had been able to transform my wrath into strength, I would have been the strongest creature alive. You! I can never forgive you for what you've done! Please, Inoue, give me the strength to strike him down. I tightened my grip on my sword, my knuckles white, and leapt toward Kazuma with a yell. Ah! Contemptuously, he slapped my strike aside. My kodachi flew out of my hands and clattered to the ground. I reached out to grab it again. Ah! Kazuma's foot came down on my arm and pain shot through it.
さて、茶番は終わりだ。
His red, arrogant eyes burned into mine. The eyes of the monster who had killed Inoue.
しかし、どちらが主なのかをわきまえぬ振る舞いは不快だ。
None of this is okay.
二度と俺に逆らう気など起こさぬよう仕置きをしておくか。
More not okay. Mm-hmm.
I felt the cold steel of his sword on my throat.
しつけには苦痛がよく効く。幸い傷を負ってもすぐ癒える身だからな。
Damn you! I glared at Kazuma with all the anger I could muster, but all I got in return was a cruel smile. Inoue had told me to run, but I hadn't, and now I couldn't. Kazuma was right about one thing. I couldn't escape from him. If I couldn't escape, then I could at least refuse to give him the satisfaction of a compliant victim. If all you're going to do is use me however you like, then I might as well bite off my tongue and drown in my own blood.
Oi,
誰がそんな真似を許した？俺の目の届かねえところで勝手に命を投げ出そうとするんじゃねえ。
Yay.
The moment I heard that voice, my head suddenly cleared. There was no way I could mistake it. It was... Hijikata! I felt tears spring to my eyes again, but for a very different reason. This was no dream, no hallucination. Toshizo Hijikata stood in front of me.
くそ、嫌な予感が的中しやがったか。
He stopped just as his voice was about to crack, and simply looked at Inoue's body, his face twisted with grief and regret. Hijikata's jaw tightened and his breath shook as if he were about to cry. His originally cold eyes were changed. They shone now with the brilliant fires of rage.
Yeah, they seem to have kept the white uniforms for like the war and all this other stuff, yet they describe the blue, which is a little weird.
With the tight, deliberate purpose, he gripped his sword. The Izumi no...
Ugh, I'm not even going to try to say that this late at night. Izumi no Kami Kanesada. It's a very difficult word to say. Anyway, that's his fancy fucking sword.
It whispered through the air as he raised it into an attack stance.
無駄死にがまた増えるか。なぜそこまで死に急ぐのか理解できぬな。
Yeah, this isn't token Rambu.
手間はかかるが仕方あるまい。かかってこい。
Fuck him up, Hijikata.
Kazuma's voice was bored, but as he spoke, the fire in Hijikata's eyes grew into a raging furnace.
無駄死にって言いやがったか。今この俺の前で無駄死にとほざきやがったか。
Hijikata roared in wordless fury and launched himself towards Kazuma. With all of his weight behind the blade, he struck at the demon's neck. Kazuma flicked his sword up to catch Hijikata's. For a moment, it looked as though they were evenly matched. And then Kazuma was thrown back.
なんだと。
From the look on his face, it was likely the first time he'd ever found himself overpowered by a human, and he was stunned. Hijikata didn't let that opening go to waste. He pushed forward, his sword hissing back and forth through the air as if possessed.
Sucks to be you, buddy.
まさかこの姿を人前にさらすことになるとは。
Oh, look. Oni Kazuma.
喜べ人間。本物の鬼の姿を目にした瞬間死ねるのだからな。
And with that, the battle changed. Kazuma's sword hummed and flickered through the air with ease, far faster and smoother than it had been a minute ago.
Kazuma forgot that Japan has a wealth of legends of humans killing Oni. Yeah, no shit.
It was all Hijikata could do to anticipate and block his strikes, leaving him no time to try and land an offensive blow of his own.
どうしたさっきまでの勢いは。
Well, he sounds a bit less bored and a bit more scary now, too.
お前が感じていた悔しさとはその程度のものだったのか。
Kazuma's demonic strength and endurance were beginning to show. He wasn't even breathing hard.
くそ
Hijikata, however, was running short of breath. All Kazuma had to do was tire him out, and
くそだね
he threw his full strength behind his sword and lunged at Kazuma one more time. The demon anticipated his blow easily and twisted to the side as Hijikata's blade swept past him. Kazuma's hand snapped out and Hijikata's sword fell clattering to the ground. Hijikata! I picked up my kodachi from the floor.
Well, we almost had a good stint with ground, but now we're back to the floor, even though we're outdoors. Whatever.
Instinctively, I charged towards Kazuma, hoping it would help even a little, but...
邪魔だ。
Kazuma kicked me and I fell to the floor. In my mind's eye, I could already see him, crumpling to the dirt just as Inoue had done.
くそ
Hijikata was huffing loudly, reaching for the sword that was knocked out of his hands just a second ago. He fell to his knees, his chest heaving. Sweat rolled down his forehead in streams and the cloth of his shirt was soaked. Kazuma lifted his sword and pointed it at Hijikata.
これでしまいだ。
I mean, Kazuma probably could kick her that hard, but I digress.
His mouth curved up into a cold, confident smile.
人間というのは愚かなものだな。叶わぬと知りながら我らに立ち向かう。それは勇気ではなく蛮勇と呼ぶのだ。鬼の力を軽んじ、恐れることを忘れたお前たちが悪い。己の不明を恥じて死ね。
As Kazuma spoke, Hijikata dragged his tired body across the ground toward his fallen sword.
何をしている？まさか逃げるつもりか。
Nah, dude, he's trying to grab his sword so he can shank you with it.
Hijikata had reached his sword. With the last ounce of strength he possessed, he lifted it up once again and turned to face his foe.
まだあがくつもりか。あれだけコケにされてまだ比嘉の実力差を理解できんとはな。
No. Hijikata was not the sort of man to care about a difference in strength, but neither was he the sort of man who would simply abandon victory. So why then had he not responded? As I watched, he pulled out something from inside his shirt. A tiny bottle filled with red liquid.
また落ち水か。どこまでも愚かな真似を。
Hijikata replied with a toothy grin.
愚かそれがどうしたってんだ。俺たちは元から愚か者の集団だ。馬鹿げた夢を見て、それだけをひたすら追いかけてここまで来た。今はまだ坂道を登ってる途中なんだ。こんなところでぶっ倒れて転げ落ちちまうわけにはいかねえんだよ。
たとえ羅刹となったとしても、所詮はまがいもの。鬼の敵ではない。
Hijikata's grin never wavered.
そんなのはやってみなきゃわからねえぜ。
Hijikata, no! My cries fell on deaf ears. Hijikata lifted the bottle to his lips and drank. In Hijikata's place, there was now a white-haired demon.
うるせえんだよ。
Hijikata's voice rumbled out from the fury, dark and low like approaching thunder.
いい加減我慢ならねえ。腰抜けの幕府どもも邪魔くせえ鬼も。
Welp. He sounds hella scary.
まがいものだと。それが一体どうしたってんだ。俺たちは今までも散々武士のまがいものとして扱われてきたじゃねえか。
His eyes burned with anger.
だけどな、今の世の中、どこに武士がいるってんだよ。
Oh right, I almost forgot.
腰が引けて城の中閉じこもって日和見決め込んで、あわよくば勝ち馬に乗ろうなんて考えてる卑しい連中ばかりじゃねえか。
I think Hijikata's got a lot of things to be mad about.
俺たちはそんな連中よりよっぽど武士だぜ。
Hijikata's words weren't just for Kazuma anymore. They were for Inoue, who had sacrificed himself in battle. For the shogunate and the counselors who didn't have the courage to make the difficult decisions. And for everyone who had ever refused to treat the Shinsengumi as true warriors.
何があってもてめえの信念だけは曲げねえ。どんな時でも絶対に後退はしねえ。俺たちはそれだけを武器にここまでやってきた。
Well, Siri.
まがいものだろうがなんだろうが貫きゃ誠になるはずだ。
Once again, more lessons from Hijikata, Dad. Fake it till you make it.
つまりこの羅刹の力でお前を倒せば俺たちは本物になれるってこったろう。
The predatory grin on Hijikata's face wasn't human. When he leapt at Kazuma, he moved so fast that I could barely even see him. He'd been impressive as a human, but as a fury, he was beyond belief.
Have fun, Kazuma.
Kazuma smashed aside the first attack, but a second followed it almost immediately, and then a third. Blow after blow crashed against his defenses, giving him no time to even breathe.
ほら、どうした？俺たちは虫けらなんだろう。押し負けてるぜ、鬼さんや！
Hijikata's eyes flashed like a great beast closing in on its prey, and he lunged at Kazuma. With an effort, he managed to swing his blade up in time to catch Hijikata's, but he'd lost the advantage of superior strength. His sword rebounded from Hijikata's strike, and Kazuma was forced back. Hijikata leapt through the opening. Hijikata's sword moved too fast for the eye to see. A line of blood simply appeared on Kazuma's face. He clapped a hand to it in surprise and pain and jumped back, trying to put space between them.
こりゃいいや。凄みが増していい男になったじゃないか。
Hijikata, you're looking a little crazy there, friend.
さて、まがいものに傷をつけられた感想はどうだ？鬼の大将さんよ。
Kazuma didn't even seem to hear Hijikata's words. He simply stared, eyes wide, at the blood that fell from his face to pool in his hand. Even as I watched, his wounds closed themselves. The stream of blood slowed to a trickle and then stopped. Though the wound itself had disappeared, it seemed the ramifications had not.
虫けらいかのまがいものの分際でよくもこの俺の顔に傷をつけたな。
It must have been the first time he'd ever been wounded by a human. Kazuma's preternaturally calm face was distorted now by rage and disgust.
Yeah, Hijikata's been repressing some things. He's letting a little anger loose, I think.
It was the first time I had ever seen him truly look like a demon.
貴様だけは絶対に許さんぞ。
So much angry in the room right now.
この世に存在するあらゆる苦痛を味わわせ、なぶり殺しにしてやる。
本性を表しやがったな。いいぜ。できるもんならやってみやがれ。
He bared his teeth in a wicked smile. Their swords collided with a resounding crash. Kazuma had been strong before, but now his blows landed with all the strength of a cannon. Veins stood out on Hijikata's neck and forehead as he strained against the onslaught.
貴様ごときまがい者がこの俺の顔に傷を。
So basically, don't cut Kazuma. It makes him kind of mad.
Kazuma had gone mad with rage, his golden eyes wide and bloodshot.
クソだれ。
Every time their swords met, I could see Hijikata's chip and shake. It looked as if the next blow could break it in two.
Yeah. He's, I think there's some vanity that's not directly addressed. Not that it even fucking matters because he heals in seconds.
Hijikata tried desperately to block with the back of the blade and protect it from more damage, but Kazuma's strikes were too quick, too powerful. Hatred rolled off them in waves.
Yes, true, it is a very pretty face.
Neither of them would be satisfied with simply killing the other.
てめえだけは絶対に許さねえぜ。地獄に落ちる時は共に引きずり込んでやる。
His clothes were soaked with blood, but eyes lit with vigor and determination shone out from beneath his white hair.
ふざけ、地獄に落ちるのは貴様だけだ。
They leapt at each other like enraged animals, blows flying so quickly that they could only defend or attack on instinct. It was clear that the battle would only end when one of them was dead, but it was rapidly becoming clear that Hijikata was fighting in a way that put him at a disadvantage. Back home, he'd always been so calm, even in the heat of battle. But cool detachment had fled with his humanity. I had to stop them. If I didn't, Hijikata would die. But awe and terror at their display of violence and skill had sealed my voice in my throat.
Yeah, the battle banter is hella good.
Even though I was a demon just like Kazuma, I was helpless. It was maddening.
おい、雪村君。
Ah, it's our good ninja boy. I heard footsteps pounding along the path and spun around to find the source of that familiar voice.
I know, like at least the fucking climax of the whole damn thing is good. The rest of it was just super boring.
副長が淀藩の様子を見に行ったきり戻っていないんだ。途中で副長に会わなかったか。
Well, Yamazaki, about that,
Yamazaki! His timing couldn't have been better. In that moment, Yamazaki looked like an angel. If angels dressed like ninjas. We're in trouble! Hijikata's fighting a demon! And Tanoe is... Yamazaki stared at me for only a moment before his glance passed my shoulder and saw the battle raging there. His eyes widened in shock and horror.
なんだあの白い髪の鬼は。羅刹か。
not just any fury.
いや、片方の鬼が着ている着物には見覚えがある。あれはまさか。
That's Hijikata. He drank the water of life.
なんだと。
Uh-oh.
With a dull twang, the sword leapt out of Hijikata's hands and clattered to the ground.
勝負あったな。
Uh-oh.
その生蔵でよく今まで持ちこたえたものだ。
Hijikata cut low to the ground and slowly began to move away. Kazuma followed just as slowly, his grin widening at Hijikata's apparent fear.
覚えているだろうな。貴様はただでは殺さん。およそ思いつく限りの苦痛を味わわせて、いたぶりながら殺してやる。
Kazuma, can we have a little talk about your intensely sadistic tendencies, please?
The advantage once again his. Kazuma's calm had returned.
お前を慕う新選組の連中のもとに皮を剥いで塩漬けにしたムクロを送りつけてやるのもいいな。
Okay. Cool. Uh-huh. Yeah, yep.
まずはその両腕を切り落とさせてもらうか。そしてその肉を野犬にでも食わせてやろう。
Kazuma hefted his sword, its blade still clean and undamaged.
She screams. Can't do it because, you know.
I screamed as loud as I could, some irrational part of me hoping that might change the outcome.
This is fair. He was like, yeah, you want me to flay them alive? It's cool.
A horrible wet sound filled my ears.
貴様
Ah! I still need to look at Legend of the Five Rings.
I looked up. Blood had spattered across the front of Kazuma's shirt, but Hijikata was unharmed.
何をしているんですか、副長。あなたは頭で、俺は手足のはずでしょ。
Ah, no, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. Not our good boy. Blah. Worst timeline confirmed.
そんな風に 我を忘れて敵地に突っ込んでどうするんですか？
山崎、お前。
His voice shook. Yamazaki smiled back, his eyes shining at us as I'd seen them do when he and Hijikata were discussing important secrets.
手足ならたとえなくなっても会話聞きます。ですが頭がなくなってしまっては何もかもおしまいです。ブーフー。新選組は局長と副長お二人があってこそ
Yeah.
ですから。
Hi, lady. You missed a really fucking epic fight and Kazuma being a freaking psycho. And came back for this.
With that, he went limp, the last of his energy exhausted, and crumpled to the ground. Blood pooled beneath him, turning the packed dirt a deep red. Yamazaki! I grabbed a hold of him as if that might somehow bring him back to consciousness.
山崎、お前、どうして。
His hair had slowly begun to shift back to its original color, and as I watched, he struggled to blink back tears.
おい、土方さん、山崎、源さん、どこにいるんだ。
Nagakura's voice echoed through the forest from some distance away.
仲間が駆けつけてきたか。かくなる上はお前たちだけでも。
Kazuma lifted his sword and made to swing it down when out of nowhere a hulking form appeared between us.
やめなさい。
Oh, good. It's literally the only reasonable member of the demon trio.
これ以上の戦いはいたずらに犠牲を増やすだけです。
この俺に引けというのか。
Yes, he fucking is, Kazuma. Now calm your shit down.
俺の顔に傷を負わせた愚か者を見過ごせと。
我々がここで手を下すのはたやすい。ですが、それは薩摩藩の意向に反します。彼らはあくまでも自らの手による倒幕を望んでいます。我ら鬼の手によるものではなく。
Aw, he mad.
His tone made it clear how little he thought of that desire, but his commitment to obedience was clearly greater. Kazuma wasn't pleased with Amagiri's interruption, but he seemed to feel that it was pointless to argue over the matter with his fellow demon.
土方と言ったな。お前の名前は決して忘れぬ。今日の借りは必ず返すからな。
Sweetheart, he cut your face, and it's already healed. Get over it.
そりゃこっちのセリフだ。
Yeah, it's okay for you to want revenge, Hijikata. He kind of murdered a bunch of your friends.
てめえだけは絶対に地獄に落としてやらなきゃ気が済まねえ。
Yeah, Kazuma's a fucking drama queen in this, apparently. Oh dear, we cut his beautiful face and it healed after like a minute.
They glared at one another with such hate I felt as if they might spontaneously combust. Then Kazuma spun on his heel and followed Amagiri off into the forest. No sooner had they disappeared
いたいた。土方さん、これは一体どうなってるんだ。
大使がやたら死んでるみてえだが、もしかして社長の奴らと戦ってたのか。だがこりゃどう見ても刀傷だよな。
Yeah, like the spontaneously combust thing was a little weird.
Yamazaki を見てやってくれ。まだ死んじゃいねえはずだ。
No, Yamazaki gonna die. Nagakura stared in horror and sudden realization at Yamazaki's limp body.
おい、どうしたんだよ。しっかりしろって、山崎。
Protect the boy.
こりゃひでえな。山崎はどうなっちまうんだ。まさか。
Yamazaki will. Judging by the severity of his wounds, I could hazard a guess as to what would happen, but I couldn't bring myself to say it aloud because I felt like it would seal his fate.
答えてくれって。山崎はどうなっちまうんだ。まさか。
Why am I suddenly the fucking doctor here?
Does anyone have clean cloths?
布だったら俺の晒しを使ってくれ。
Thank you. I'll borrow it. Also, I need some sake to clean the wounds. Preferably shochu.
焼酎はさすがに持ってねえな。
近くにきれいな水が流れている沢があった。水を汲んでこよ
いや、俺が行ってくる。体力だけは自信があるからな。山崎のことよろしく頼むぜ。
Nagakura rushed and ran up the mountain.
う。副長、ここで一体何が。
Hijikata didn't even seem to hear him.
まさかこの俺が大使を犠牲にして生き延びることになるなんてな。
犠牲？
源さんの亡骸があっちにあるんだ。埋めるの手伝ってくれねえか。
This route is so long.
あと源さんの部下の連中も。さすがにこの時期に野ざらしじゃいくらなんでも寒すぎるだろうからな。
That being said, heartbroken Hijikata is actually kind of stabbing me in the feels really hard.
I knew that he wanted to break down and cry more than any of us. But in front of his men, he struggled to grin and joke. It was just too much. I felt myself begin to sob, but I couldn't bear to do it in front of Inoue and Yamazaki. So I buried my face in my hands and the tears flowed soundlessly.
Hello, Percy.
Inoue had given his life to save mine. Hijikata had become a fury to fight the demon who'd chased me across Kyoto. Yamazaki had taken a blow that might well end his life to protect Hijikata. What could I possibly do for them? How could I atone for my sins? I thought about it for a long time, but no answers came. That night, Sunlan and the Fury Corps launched an attack in revenge for the events of the afternoon. Once the sun set, it became harder to aim a gun, which the Shinsengumi hoped would give the Fury Corps the advantage. first it did, and the Furies were even more successful than they'd hoped. But then the gunners began to fire different, special bullets, and the Fury Corps were quickly driven back. The loss was devastating, and our allies quickly crumbled. With the betrayal of the Yodo and Tsu domains, and the refusal of the Owari domain to become involved in any way, the Shinsengumi was alone. With our allies gone, and enemies everywhere, we had no choice but to retreat to Osaka Castle.
Dang, I really thought this route was shorter, but we're gonna fucking finish this.
こんなバカでかい城を建てやがって。ここにたどり着くまでに何日かかるかと思っちまったぜ。
土方さん、とりあえず俺たち山崎の様子を松本先生に見せてくっから。
ああ、頼む。
I performed emergency first aid on him, but Yamazaki had groaned in pain all the way home. Considering how badly he was covered in deep gashes, I couldn't see him making it for much longer. I was also worried for Hijikata. Now that he was a Fury, being out in the sunlight had to be painful for him. Hijikata, are you feeling all right? I mean, physically?
なんだ、羅刹の俺がお日様の下うろうろしてるのがそんなに意外か？
No, I mean, that's not what I was just wondering if anything has changed.
今んとこどこも変わりねえな。
He's lying.
そのうちお日様を見るのさえしんどくなってくるんだろうし、今のうちに目に焼き付けとくか。
Oh, no. Hijikata was joking, but what he'd said made me hang my head low.
お前がどう考えてるかはわからねえが、落ち水を飲むって決めたのは他の誰でもねえ、この俺だ。それに今まで何人もの大使に切腹だの羅刹かだの命じといて、てめえだけ腹が据わってねえってのもおかしな話だろ。
Phew, talk about taking some of your own medicine. I'm sorry, I'll see myself out now.
いつかこうなるんじゃねえかって気はしてたんだ。だからお前のせいじゃねえ。
It wasn't that easy, though. I couldn't just take him at his word and shed all the guilt I felt. When I looked up at him, though, his expression seemed somehow relieved. This is kind of a weird question, but did something good just happen?
ああ、もちろんだ。
He looked up at the castle walls and laughed.
ここに来てようやく明るい未来が見えてきたぜ。
We do?
ああ、この城は何があっても絶対に落ちねえ。
All your men died, but what's good, Dad? Hijikata, don't say never.
ここにこもってる限り、俺たちの負けはねえってことだ。
Oh, buddy. Buddy.
真田幸村でもできなかった戦をできるかもしれねえんだぜ。しかも源さんや山崎の敵を討てるときた。 これが浮かれずにいられるかよ。
The man I'd watched fight the demon Kazuma was nowhere to be seen. Hijikata's face was now that of a man looking forward, determined to win. I smiled to myself. He hadn't given up hope.
副長、こちらにいらっしゃいましたか。
Uh-oh.
どうした？
これから江戸に引き上げるので、船に乗ってくださいとのことです。
Well, so much for the hiding in this castle thing, I guess.
江戸に？どういうことだ？ここで薩長の奴らを迎え撃つんじゃねえのか？
それが、
He hesitated, and I sensed that it was out of reluctance, not confusion. When he spoke, he sounded as if he didn't even quite believe what he was saying.
慶喜公は船でもう江戸に向かってしまっているとのことです。ですので、これ以上ここにいても。
For a moment, Hijikata simply stood there, stunned. When he spoke, his voice was a sinister growl.
船で江戸に向かってるってのはどういうことだ？幕軍が命がけで戦ってたってのに、それを見捨てて、てめえだけさっさとお逃げ遊ばしたってことか？
Pretty much, yes.
それは俺にもよくわかりませんので。
Shimada didn't look much more pleased about the situation than Hijikata.
くそー!
Unable to contain his frustration, he kicked out at the nearest tree. His eyes thinned and he kicked it several more times. At last he stopped, slightly out of breath, and tried to regain his earlier calm.
まあいいや。そもそも俺は花から徳川の殿様のために戦ってきたわけじゃねえからな。いくら上にやる気がなかろうが、俺たちには関係のねえことだ。伝習隊もいるし、幕府が海外から買った何隻もの軍艦だって無傷のまま残ってる。江戸に戻ったら喧嘩をやり直しだな。
Perhaps it was the desperate exhilaration of having your back to the wall, but I saw the fire of determination light in Hijikata's eyes.
So let's just chuck that on the pile of things he has to be mad about. And we're finally friggin' just about done.
This war later became known as the Battle of Toba-Fushimi. Throughout the war, the shogunate troops had the advantage in numbers. But they were no match against the Satsuma Choshu, who successfully employed advanced weapons and Western tactics to gain the upper hand.
Time to get on a biat! I like that better, even though it was a typo.
Allegedly, the deciding moment was in the arrival of the gold brocade flag, which represented their allegiance and the backing of the imperial palace. When Lord Yoshinobu had discovered this had happened, he'd decided to retreat to Edo. At this point, the war became pointless to those serving the shogunate once their leader had left. The prospect of defeat is what moved the last remnants of the shogunate and the Shinsengumi to leave Osaka Castle for Edo. During the trip aboard the ship, Dr. Matsumoto and I took turns caring for Yamazaki.
雪村君。
Why? Why do this to us? I don't like this.
そこにいるのか。
Yamazaki.
Yes. What's the matter? Are you in pain?
いや、
That's a lie.
副長にお伝えしたいことがあるんだ。読んできてくれるか。
Oh no. For him to call out for Hijikata must mean... No, I couldn't think of that yet. Okay, I'll go and get him right away. Hold on. I hurried out of the cabin and I went to call Hijikata. We'd rush back to the cabin with Yamazaki immediately.
Yamazaki.
Yamazaki, I brought Hijikata. Can you see him?
ありがとう、雪村君。
Yamazaki's face was almost white as snow. Almost all of the blood had drained from his face. It was clear that the end for him was near. Cold sweat dripped profusely from his forehead, and Yamazaki started to speak meekly.
副長、最後までお手伝いすることができず、申し訳ございません。
何を言ってやがる。詫びるよりもその怪我を治す方が先だろうが。
Despite what he'd said, Hijikata's harsh tone sounded to me like he knew the end was near too. But I guess that was more of a reason for him to speak like he normally would to Yamazaki.
思えば、この4年間、あなたの手足となって働いた日々は何にも勝る宝でした。
Why?
ハリー医者の息子だったこの俺が武士としての生を全うできたのは新選組があってこそです。願うあくば最後までお供したかったのですが。
Yamazaki spoke with staggered, pained breaths, and he mustered all his strength to speak his final words.
あんまり喋ると傷に触るぞ。
I think in Yamazaki's route, he gets turned into a fury or nasetsu. But no, in basically every other route, he just dies.
Then Yamazaki's eyes darted toward me suddenly.
雪村君、今後も副長のことをよろしく頼む。副長が新選組が勝利する様をその目で見届けてくれ。
Be more heartbreaking, please, Yamazaki. Yeah, clearly we need this, right? Mm-hmm. This is fine.
Watching this unfold was too much for my heart to bear. I couldn't respond immediately.
雪村、答えてやれ。
Hijikata urged me to answer, and I held back my tears as I responded.
Yamazaki's basically marrying us to Hijikata. I mean, I guess that works.
Oh, alright. Yamazaki, please. Just rest. When I answered him, Yamazaki's expression softened. After a while, he closed his eyes slowly. Yamazaki? I spoke his name aloud, but no movement came from his eyes, nor the rest of him, ever again.
And, you know, as if the sad Hijikata smile wasn't heartbreaking enough, let's just add context onto it to make it worse.
Hijikata's words confirmed what I'd hoped was just a dream. Yamazaki had passed in front of me. I crumbled to the floor. It was suggested by Inamoto of the Bakushin to do a burial at sea for Yamazaki.
大丈夫か、近藤さん。一人で立てるか。
ああ、すまないな、トシ。
God damn it, Ilsari.
Hijikata supported Kondo as he walked up to the deck, doing his best to contain his grief.
諸君、山崎進君は観察型の要として長年新選組を陰から支えてくれた。
Oh my god, we're even getting a fucking funeral.
「それがこのような最後を遂げることとなってしまい、俺も無念でならない。山崎君は無私の男だった。どんな時でも決して不平不満を漏らしたりせず、困難なタイムにも全力で当たってくれていた。そんな彼に敬意を表し、水槽という形で弔ってあげたいと思う。
Eventually, Yamazaki's body was carried forth by the pallbearers aboard the ship.
さらばだ山崎君。あの世で我々の戦いを見守っていてくれ。
After Kondo had finished his eulogy, Yamazaki's body was thrown into the sea.
さく、山崎の野郎、さっさと死んじまいやがって。文句言っても始まらねえだろう。一番無念なのはきっと山崎本人だと思うぜ。
うるせ。そんなことは俺だってよくわかってるんだよ。
Although none of the men seemed to be displaying their grief publicly, everyone's eyes were red. I could only assume they had shed their tears when they were without the company of others. Hijikata stood there, looking down at the sea as if he'd wanted to say something. Yamazaki's body drifted, popping up in between the tumbling waves for a few moments, but soon his body had washed away out of sight.
Are we done? Nope. Okay. Nope, apparently they didn't weigh down his body. They just kind of chucked it into the ocean. It's fine, I guess. What the fuck?
I couldn't bring myself to sleep soundly because of my mind focused solely on Yamazaki. I wandered to the deck.
Also, Jesus, this is so long. I want to be done. Mostly because I want to go to bed.
Oh. I stopped upon seeing an unexpected person.
お前か。
Hey, what up?
どうしたんだこんな朝早くに。
I couldn't really sleep. What about you, Hijikata?
お前と似たようなもんだ。
Right. With all that had happened, I'm sure Hijikata needed some time to process all of it alone. He watched the stars covering the dark sky, like a ghost of the day before haunting from above. The sun began to faintly show its head in the east. Dawn was soon arriving.
お前の気持ちがわからねえわけじゃねえが、あんまりここに長いしねえ方がいいんじゃねえか。女は体を冷やしちゃいけねえって言うだろう。
What? What? Hijikata, what? What the fuck? I don't... Nah.
Yes, I understand. I'll go back inside soon.
そうか。
Our conversation ended there.
Can you all feel how romantic this is already?
Together for a moment, we listened to the endless movement of the ocean crashing against the ship. I couldn't shake the thought of how many men we'd lost in this battle.
I mean, at least we get all these pretty CGs of Hijikata, but they're really like... The emotional high points of this entire route so far was the giant fuck yeah at the fight with Kazuma and having our guts ripped out and our hearts stomped on with Yamazaki dying.
俺たちは誠の武士になりてえと思って必死に坂道を登ってきたつもりだ。その道を選んだことを間違いだと思ったことは一度もねえ。源さんや山崎、今回の戦で亡くなった連中もきっと同じ思いでいてくれたはずだ。だから生き残った俺たちは死んでいった皆が信じてくれた道を全うするしかねえんだ。
Hijikata was looking at the far eastern sky. His expression was so vigorous, almost scary. Felt as though I was witnessing the return of Hijikata's strength and unwavering determination. Almost as if he were opening my eyes. I don't know how I could ever repay the debt of Yamazaki and Inoue's sacrifices. As Hijikata and I watched the sky, I felt compelled to tell him something that came to me.
Like, literally, what? Oh, but look, hey, there we are, finally.
Hijikata, I need to tell you something.
なんだ
To speak these words, I knew I needed courage to do it. I knew they could hurt him. Inoue wanted me to tell you something before he died. He said that he wanted to apologize for his incompetence, and he hoped you would forgive him for not staying with you until the end. He said he didn't have the words to thank you for giving a man like him the chance to be a part of something. And that he'd never forget what you did for him. As I was telling him this, I started to choke and began to sob. But I was finally able to tell him Inoue's final words. Hijikata's eyelids shook faintly and I saw him gulping. And then...
たく源さんも随分水郷のことを言うもんだな。力不足だと夢を見せてくれて感謝しきれねえだとあの人の人柄に支えられてたのは俺たちの方だっつうのに。
Hijikata was inhibiting himself from expressing the true weight of his emotions, and his eyes thinned. The sun had finally climbed from the horizon.
羅刹になっちまったせいかな。今日は日の光がやけに目に染み上がる。
Is this basically like it's a terrible day for rain? I'm just saying.
Hijikata stared resolutely towards the rising sun.
見ててくれよ、源さん、山崎。俺たちはこんなもんじゃ終わらねえ。江戸に戻ったらすぐに体制を立て直してあんた方の敵を取ってやるからな。そして腰抜けの幕臣どもの心に、薩長のやつらの心に新選組の名を刻みつけてやる。絶対に忘れられねえようにしてやるさ。
And Chizuru's just like randomly thirsty. Yeah, whatever. We get the idea. He's gallant and godlike, apparently.
He's inspiring. And stuff.
We're just gonna do our best, I guess. And there's literally like not an ounce of romance in this entire fucking route, and we just finished the first game. Yeah. Hijikata has one true love, and it's not us. Well, that happened. You guys always make it so fun. If I was playing this by myself, I probably would have hardcore abandoned Hijikata's route. When I played through it in the original, I sped through so much of it. But yeah, like trying to basically sell him as the main love interest in this makes no damn sense. Yeah, exactly. Like, they don't work as a couple at all. It's alright. To be quite honest, Chizuru Heisuke is totally the OTP. See, this route is appropriate if this were just straight up a visual novel about the Shinsengumi. And not like an Otome game where the objective is chasing romance with the Shinsengumi. But that's about it. And in that case, why even have Chizuru? Why don't we just have a visual novel with all of these wonderful dudes? Blah, blah. Blah, blah. Yep, we're going to Edo and stuff, and yay, Edo Blossoms. It's gonna happen. Whew. Alright, let's quickly go back and look at least all the pretty CGs we got. Those are nice. We're just gonna look at this one more time though. 'Cause, yay. Alright, friends. I think, is there a DLC with Hijikata in here? Nope. Alright, cool. Whew. Now that we have basked in the healing effects of Hijikata's disgustingly gorgeous hair. Sleep well, my friends. We will, dive into Edo Blossoms tomorrow, I guess. And, yeah, try to get this out of the way. And see how the slowest of slow burns burns. Good night, my friends. I'll see you next time. Sayonara.